The problem was the person, wherever the pole was, it was a locked gate, and the tech couldn't get in the last time. Actually, I think it was for an installation.
Oh, okay.
So, here it is, right there. No access to the tap, locked gate. Couldn't get into it. So I asked the customer after everything's done with the presentation, I go, and this was written on my SFA. I asked him, hey, by any chance, I was like, I could see from the back kitchen window, it was in his neighbor's backyard. I was like, are you friendly with the neighbor? And the fence was there, and there was also a dog in the backyard. I was like, you friendly with this neighbor? And he was like, yeah, I'm actually, we're good friends, talk. I'm like, so being that you're getting installed next Wednesday, I don't remember exactly when, is there a way that we could, you could talk to your neighbor and tell him to, keep it all the way, and lock the gate, because I constantly need to get, to that easement. Not saying that it never would have been installed, who knows, maybe the dog's not there, maybe, the lock gate's not locked. But I just kind of avoided an issue for the tech that's showing up for that installation, not having to, worry about contacting that neighbor. What if they're not home? What if the gate's locked, and couldn't get installed? Now that you could lose that install, maybe not lose the sale, but lose the install for that day, maybe lose it for that month and lose it too. Or potentially lose the install altogether, because let's say something goes wrong, they call FiOS, and Verizon counteroffers, you let that opportunity. And you're also helping road service at the same time, letting the customer know ahead of time, listen, tap's in your backyard, they're going to have to get to that, so just make sure it's unlocked. So it's not always just to make a sale, it's also to help an installation go in.
Question, did you you assess the geography of the place when you got there? I mean, were you looking for the pole, the tap?
Honestly, I almost forgot. It was after the presentation was done, after I called everything in. And literally, I looked over my SFA and I saw it. And I was glad I did. And I was right positioned in his kitchen bay window, so I kind of saw the backyard. And that's when I saw the dog outside, and I was like...
Did you actually see the line running to the...
Yeah, I could see that there was a pole there, and I figured, and you could see that it's the pole, the only utility pole in, 100 feet or something. So I was like, this has to be it. Was I 100% sure? I'm not a technician, but a pretty much safe bet to say that that's probably the pole that's giving, cable to this house, or will be. So, and it worked out. So little stuff like that can help you even get an installation, and make sure that you're preparing, and looking forward, not even just to get into the house, but, making sure that it goes all the way and you get the installation installed. So. The next customer we're going to take a look at was a very difficult sale. I might have gone back, I kid you guys not, maybe 8 times before the sale was completed. Both the spouse and the husband were both correction officers, and they worked crazy hours. Now, I didn't get them, this was during October, I didn't get them the month of October, I actually got them after the storm, after Sandy. And it's kind of funny, it was partly because of the reason what I said to them at the time when they let me go the last time at the door. I'll bring it up. Okay, so I'm going to look. Zena's active, that's the wife. Dennis was the husband, he was with us before. So we're going to look at Dennis's account beforehand. Now, the last visit I was at the house, it came up the first time, and I also mentioned it the last time. The reason why they said they went to Verizon was because they wanted an actual landline. And I said to them, I was like, listen, Verizon, I know they give you a battery backup, which we can give you as well. But after, X amount of hours, things not going to work when another Hurricane Irene comes through, because at the time that was the biggest storm that we had faced. And I'll look now, outbound contacts, search, maximize it.
Inbound.
As you can tell, it takes time to do all this. It doesn't come right away. Here it is. Sub-disco to go to files because we don't offer a landline phone. So I said to her the last time I was there in October, you know, there's a really big storm. This was right before San Diego. There's a really big storm coming in. You know, if it's as bad as they say it is, we're probably not going to have power for a while. And she goes, well, I'll be fine. I have my Verizon landline. And I asked her at the time, I was like, you know, just out of curiosity, you dial 516 when you call locally? And she said, yeah. And this was before I saw the bill, so I knew she had digital voice at that point. I was like, unfortunately, you have what they call voice over IP. You don't have, you know, a copper line. She thought up and down, no, I have a copper line, you know what I'm talking about. Literally 2 weeks after Sandy hit, I get a phone call back from this woman. It was a call back saying, Verizon's not going to be back in the neighborhood probably till December. She's coming back up. You're 100% right with the phone. And she's like, I'm going to switch. Because obviously you could probably save me a good amount of money. And I should have listened to you the first time about it. And I got the call back and I got set. And it was, I don't know if I would have said, if she would have realized that connection that I had, that I actually researched her account and looked at it and saw, hey, I know you think you have this, but you really don't. And, you know, Verizon might have, you know, told you you're getting this, but you really don't have it. And if you switch to us, you're going to be getting the same exact thing as you have right now. And, you know, I asked her, she asked, I was like, did you get the landline because you have someone with a medical alert? And she said no to in the beginning as well. So I kind of fed around it. But once the deal was done, it was very easy. I mean, I was saving them probably around, I think, 50 or 60 bucks plus. So it was, you know, a done deal.
I don't think they could ever hurt you, Pat.
No.
The customer knowing that you looked up their information, that you care about them enough, that you took the time to make sure you knew what their concerns were, how you can help them best. And you look at from the words I just said, if anybody ever says, you know, where'd you get that information from? You say the exact same thing I just said. I want to make sure I completely understand why you left us, what you had, if you experienced any problems, or if you need anything that I can help you with. I want to make sure that I'm best able to serve you.
Yeah.
That gives you instant. You can't buy that level of rapport, trust, credibility, creed. You can't buy any of that, and you could probably do 3 hours of probing to get to that kind of a level. That's huge.
Well, first off, they might not even remember at that point. That's the one thing you have to remember. They're not going to